You are watching The Glitch Report, a brand new series where we pour a quadruple espresso and try to make sense of a video game industry that has officially gone full wormhole. And wow, the last week has been less of a gaming news cycle and more of a corporate fever dream cooked up by a very confused algorithm. Honestly, I feel like I need to pay for therapy just to process all the absurdity they've gifted us. Let's dive in with the biggest gut punch of the month. After years of hype so thick you could carve it with a knife, the Grand Theft Auto 6 clock has officially been shoved further back to November 2026. Look, I'm not saying I expected it next Tuesday. This just confirms my long-held theory. Making a video game is now structurally identical to building a pyramid. It takes decades, requires a sacrificial workforce, and the only result is an ancient, unmoving monument we will worship from afar. And if a release date delay wasn't bad enough, how about a complete creative pivot driven by television? That's right, just as we were dusting off our N7 helmets for the next Mass Effect, the word came down that the development of Mass Effect 5 is reportedly shifting to align with the upcoming Amazon TV series. Come on! Are we making a game that's fun to play, or are we just making a 50-hour interactive commercial for a streaming service? My favorite part of any massive space opera is when the creative director is told by a studio executive, yeah, that core character arc is great, but the Amazon algorithm says we need more slow motion walking in rain. It's like finding out your favorite novel is being edited to be a better tie-in with a Funko Pop line. The tail is wagging the dog is wagging a poorly rendered space hamster, and BioWare is just shrugging. Speaking of things being poorly rendered and creatively confused, let's talk about Square Enix. Fresh off their bizarre, expensive and unsuccessful quest to convince us that NFTs were the future of fun, they pivoted. What's the next shiny dystopian ball they're chasing? You guessed it, generative AI. Their new target is to have artificial intelligence handle 70% of their quality assurance testing by 2027. I'm sorry, but this is the company that ships games with invisible walls, clipping issues and dialogue so clunky it sounds like it was translated via a fax machine. The only thing an AI is going to find is that the game technically runs, while a human tester is the only one who can tell you that the main villain's nose glitches through the helmet during every cutscene, which is, let's be honest, the true definition of a game-breaking bug. And wouldn't you know it, the perfect case study for why human testers matter arrived immediately. I'm talking about the softer than expected launch of the latest Borderlands title. When the sales numbers came in, the corporate line from Take-Two was to blame the troublesome PC release, essentially pointing the finger at us, the people who tried to play it. This is peak industry gaslighting. Because Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford was right there, on record, calling the PC launch pretty damn optimal. So which is it? Was it optimal or was it troublesome? The only thing that's optimal about the situation is the speed at which a major publisher can contradict its own studio head to shift blame. It's the corporate equivalent of yelling, "The dog ate my sales numbers!" But don't worry, they're listening to us. No, seriously, look at Battlefield 6. Remember when the community was up in arms because the challenge requirements were so insanely granular and demanding that you needed a master's degree in tactical warfare just to unlock a site? Well, following intense community feedback, the developers are now making the challenges far easier. And this, my friends, is the other side of the broken coin. We spent our time screaming that the game is too hard, too grindy, and instead of fixing the core design, they just flipped the difficulty switch to participation trophy mode. We asked for a well-designed ramp, and they gave us a flat parking lot. The game is now not just easier, it's fundamentally less interesting. We won, but at what cost? Now, if you want to know where the real will to live is being tested, look no further than the balance sheet. There's been a lot of noise about the potential controversial Saudi accusation of parts of EA. And what's EA's official response to concerned fans? Don't worry, we're totally going to retain creative control. Yeah, sure buddy. That's like saying you're selling your house to a billionaire real estate developer, but insisting you get to keep the throw pillows. The moment a controlling stake of capital walks through the door, the only creative control you have is choosing which font to use on your inevitable resignation letter. Money talks, and right now, it's not just talking, it's renting out the entire office building. The fear of creative IP being consumed brings us back to our AI buddies. It's not just Square Enix using it to ditch their testing team. The creative side is panicking too. We've seen major Japanese publishers, including Bandai Namco and Square Enix again, officially requesting that their colossal libraries of creative works not be used to train AI models like Sora 2. Finally, a rational response. They realized that even AI can generate a near-perfect Elden Ring meets Dragon Quest dungeon in 30 seconds. Their entire business model of taking 5 years to do it is suddenly in jeopardy. It's full-on IP protection panic, and I'm just here enjoying the show, because it's the first time they've sounded genuinely scared of something that wasn't a quarterly earnings report. Okay, let's take a breath and talk about the hardware we'll be using to play these AI-tested TV tie-in games. Nintendo, bless their hearts, usually sail their own ship completely separate from the rest of this choppy sea, but even they are finally acknowledging reality. The word is that the Switch 2 is now their primary focus, a full pivot. This is less news and more a collective sigh of relief from anyone who still has Joy-Con drift on their third Switch. It needs to happen. We love the hybrid design, but right now my Switch is looking less like a modern console and more like an ancient artifact that requires a ritual sacrifice of battery life to function. I'm happy to see them finally committing to bringing their magic into this decade. Speaking of portables, let's talk about the PlayStation Portal. I've ragged on this thing since it was announced, calling it a PS5 leash, but fine, they're finally adding PS5 cloud streaming support to it. Now, instead of only streaming from your local PS5 that you already own, you can stream from the cloud, which, let's be honest, is what it should have been on day one. It's a classic corporate move with all the obvious necessary feature just so you can announce it later as a massive upgrade. I'm not celebrating this. I'm just acknowledging that the Portal has officially upgraded from a weird niche accessory to a slightly less weird niche accessory. Congratulations, I guess? And to end this chaotic trip through the industry, let's give a quick shout out to the only company that gave us a quality of life feature that makes sense. Valve. They're rolling out a Steam Deck feature that lets you download games while the screen is off, running in low power mode. That's it. That's the whole feature. No controversy, no corporate doublespeak, no AI overlords, just a sensible addition that means I can leave my deck downloading the next 80GB patch without draining the battery like I'm running a small space heater. It's a tiny, perfect piece of sanity. It's the one glimmer of light that reminds me that sometimes this industry actually cares about the people who play the games, not just the people who fund the spreadsheets. So to recap, we're playing games designed to sell TV shows, tested by algorithms, sold by executives who blame their own customers, funded by controversial cash injections, and delayed until the next solar eclipse. But hey, at least I can download it on my portable PC while the screen is off. I hope everyone enjoyed the first episode of the Glitch Report. You guys keep playing the games, so I have something to complain about next week. Cheers!